Yes, don't let your eyes deceive you. I am back on YouTube. I know it's been a while. But there is this recent conversation about Ubisoft canceling a Assassin's Creed game that sounds like it would have been amazing. Now, this article comes from GameFile, specifically Steven Totillo, where he had an inside scoop that Ubisoft canceled a Civil War Assassin's Creed game last year. Specifically, word started trickling through the grapevine sometime July of last year, where this game would have brought this series to the American Civil War during the Reconstruction period that followed between the 1860s and the 1870s. Where you would have been playing as a black man who had been formerly enslaved in the South, who moved to the West to start a brand new life. Where he at one point was recruited by the assassins, he would return to the South to fight for justice in a conflict that would, among other things, see him confront the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. And this is only according to interviews with 5 current and former Ubisoft employees who spoke to GameFile on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak about the project. Ubisoft did not respond to a request for comment for this story. According to them, though, people were very enthusiastic about the game, but were also frustrated by the said cancellation, which they perceived it as Ubisoft bowing to some sort of controversy. According to 3 different sources that spoke with GameFile, a word filtered through the company last July that management in Paris had stopped development of the game for 2 reasons. One, online backlash that sprang to the reveal of Yasuke, a historically inspired black samurai, as a protagonist in the company's then upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, and 2, concerned that the political climate in the United States was becoming increasingly tense. Too political in a country too unstable, to make it short. One source familiar with the game and its cancellation told GameFile, game cancellations are not unusual, sources said, but reasons as such, those were. This would be Assassin's Creed game was early. Now, of course, the rest of the article was hidden behind a paywall, but you pretty much get the gist of it, the idea of this whole thing. I think the idea of that would have been amazing. You go out west, like imagine you being some type of cowboy assassin who ends up going back to the South, the dirty South. Like imagine a proper Assassin's Creed game in a place like Baton Rouge or New Orleans, or you visit places like Biloxi, Gulfport, or hell, if you want to go all upstate in Jackson, Mississippi, then that would have been something, especially during those times. It would have been a sight to behold. Or maybe even visiting different places like Lake Charles, or maybe the Bayou Cajun regions that's filled with swamps and gators. And let's say you riding past on horseback, you hearing like the strum of a freaking banjo playing and the crickets chirping. Bro, the atmosphere would have been amazing for that game. But canceling the game for a political climate is really baffling, because Assassin's Creed in of itself is political. We're talking about a franchise that is based and centered around 2 political groups known as the Templars and the Assassins fighting over an alien fruit. You can't get more political than that. And the Templars, who pretty much puppeteer people around the world, aka the Illuminati, to their bidding. But Ubisoft for the while has tried to say that they're apolitical, even though you have a lot of games that are very political. And I don't mean political in a bad way, like, because I like politics in games personally, more so than real life, because they can be more entertaining to see in a medium versus in real life, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm guessing they were worried that people was going to be upset that there is a black protagonist in the game. There's no way in hell they was that worried about the culture war that much. Bro, like, y'all could have made the game. Like, it would have been lit. It would have been lit seeing a game like that centered around that. And of course, if you have the Ku Klux Klan involved, then automatically by default, the Templars would be the Ku Klux Klan members by default. Bro, this game could have been like Django Unchained. And this had to been one of them games that was very much so excluded from the leaked roadmap of Assassin's Creed games. This may have been one of the things where they may have been talking about it in a board meeting, had a pitch, had a concept, was going to run with it. But then the headquarters are like, nope, 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 we don't want any controversy. As somebody who played and beat Shadows, I was utterly disappointed with what they did with the open world. As far as it went with the story and the gameplay, I actually liked the gameplay and story, and I liked the setting. Graphically, it was pretty amazing. Hell, even breathtaking at times. But still, best thing about an open world game is the open world itself. Like, even if you have you can have like let's say, I don't know, a lackluster story, a serviceable at best gameplay formula. But if you have an open world that feels vibrant, it feels alive in a sense, and it has content within the open world that it's rewarding and it's fun to do and not tedious, I'm all for that. But with Shadows, it was a big letdown. But hey, that was just my biggest gripe with Shadows. I know other people may be more critical about the game than me, but that's neither here nor there. As far as the Assassin's Creed pipeline goes, we know that the next big thing, I'm assuming, is still the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Outside of that, we have another game supposed to come out, sometime next year. But stuff like this makes me miss the old Ubisoft, especially when they were willing to take a risk that was Assassin's Creed 3. They did something like Assassin's Creed 3, and that game was very political in of itself. So where was the balls and testicles at Ubisoft left at? Because obviously somebody took them off their body and put them in their wife's purse, because there is no way in hell you mean to tell me y'all this chicken shit now to make a game like that. Really? Claiming you're apolitical, but Assassin's Creed as a franchise is very political. Far Cry is very political. If you want to talk about that, invading a foreign land to topple a dictator, that ain't political. I don't know. Ubisoft is just at a weird place with me, honestly. But y'all let me know what you think about this. And until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully it's not a month-long hiatus again. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.